Hey guys, Here's Elemental here, and yeah, so I got back from my tournament play today, and I didn't do too well. I went 2 wins, 2 losses. It was an alright day. The problem was like there was a lot of dragon rulers and prophecies there, and I really didn't have much of a side deck. I pretty much had nothing to put in against those. However, I did pretty good against some Medulce matchups, and I actually won against Dragon Ruler matchup in one of my rounds, but anyway, this is the deck I was using. It's the deck that I run in real life, so I figured it's about time I do a deck profile for this one, considering I just came back from the tournament. I barely made it into semifinals, was not able to make it into finals, so this is what I used. Really low monster count, 8 monsters, but that's typical for a Bubble Beat style deck. I see some people use Tin Goldfish instead of the Photon Thrasher. I prefer the Photon Thrasher because he has more attack and you don't need to burn your normal summon on him. Just a personal preference. Plus he's a warrior, so I think Tin Goldfish is what is it again? It's a yeah, it's a machine, and I prefer to use warriors because it's target for warrior returning alive, which I use 2 of, and yeah, it's pretty useful. Now 2 Hero Lives, self-explanatory card, really. You get to just bring out Stratos from your deck, or really anything. If you top deck it, you can bring out Bubbleman. Bubbleman gets its effect, you can draw 2. Dark Hole, Staple, 2 Recall, 1 Rhoda, so you can have your Pernalani Assertion. Gem Sparks, I use 2. I heard some people use 3, some people use 1. I think 2 is okay. There are a lot of times I drew into it as a dead draw, so I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Heavy Storm at 1, Miracle Fusion at 3. Really screwed me over because I lost my first round because I had the worst hand ever. I had 3 Miracle Fusion, like 2 Pot of Duality opening, and they went first turn Ophion. So I'm like, wow. Oh no, I had 3 Miracle Fusion, 2 Pot of Duality. No, 1 Pot of Duality, 1 E-Call, and 1 Super Poly. But I couldn't fuse for anything because they had Ophion on field. So it was like, man, I have no options to go for here. So I pretty much had to scoop game 1. Game 2, I almost won by going for first turn Blade Armor, and then next turn going for Shining. However, they survived by dropping a Battle Fader, and they were able to actually take my Shining with a Bahamut. And, no, they Smashing Grounded my Shining, Bahamuted my Blade Armor, and win for game. Forget what else they did. They did this whole long combo. Went for game on me. It was really annoying. Anyway, 2 Pod Duality, 2 Super Polys, 3 MSTs. A lot of people have been telling me to take these out, tech them for something else. Not sure what to actually change them out for. Anyway, 2 Warrior Returning Alive. A lot of people tell me not to run this card either, but I feel it's good for recycling Stratos to your hand and really just constantly going for Exceed plays. Bottomless Trapple, great trap, definitely running it too. Call the Haunted at 2, again for recycling Stratos, or really any card just to block your field for a turn, or just to get like more monsters on field for Exceed plays later in the game. If you couldn't go for an early game OTK, this helps for your later for your plays in the late game. Compulse, one of my favorite traps in the game. They bring something out, just send it back. It's like, oh, Draco Sack, nope, back to your hand. Oh, I go for Big Eye, nope, back to your hand. Like, I don't know. It's like, I know Bottomless could do the same thing, but there's just certain cards that can't really be destroyed and things like that. And I just like having the ability to just throw them right back in the extra deck. Also, I like this better for going up against synchro matchups because I'd much rather like do this than that because sometimes I'll have like cards that bring it back. Also, the reason I don't like using Bottomless is Dragon Rulers. If you want to stop them from even making the Exceed play, like they just want to go for that first dragon. If you banish it, they get the remove from play effect, I believe. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure they get the remove from play. Like if like Blaster gets banished when you try to summon it and you Bottomless it, I believe Blaster still gets this effect, whereas if you compulse it, he does not. Or even if they just have the Redox sitting on field and it's like, okay, I set my Compulse last turn and they just went, which actually happened to me, they just set Redox and not set, but summoned Redox in defense mode and didn't do anything else. And I was just like, alright, I'll just compulse the motherfucker and then go for game, which is how I won an OTK against Dragon Rulers. Solemns, because self-explanatory, and Torrentials, I finally actually, before I was using this, I was using a third Call of the Haunted because I did not have a second Torrential Tribute in real life, but today actually I managed to buy a Torrential Tribute for $2 and put it in, so it really actually completed my deck list for me. Oh yeah, I should mention that before today I was also maining one more warrior returning and one less super poly. I don't know why. I decided today, like going over, I'm just like, the warrior returning alive isn't helping me too much, whereas the super poly can really screw over some of my opponents. It's better for fucking with my opponent pretty much, so I decided to go for the second super poly. It's kind of hard though, because a lot of times I don't have cards in hand, but it's really situational how you want to play this. And then extra deck 2 Ab-Zero, because, you know, Bubble Man for days, and I actually won against Madolche because I managed to just have too many Ab-Zeros on field for him to handle. Like he just couldn't keep affording. He couldn't afford to keep getting his field blown up. Pretty much, it was a Madolche player. I actually recorded that duel on my phone, but the quality is crap. Not really sure if I'm gonna upload the video or not because like the quality is really bad. There's a lot of background noise because, well, you know, it was an event. People were talking in the background, so I don't know. I might upload it. I might not. Anyway, 2 Ab-Zero, 2 Shining. Fucking my favorite fusion, best fusion in the game, in my opinion. Great Tornado for if I have to deal with Dracossack, which is really good to have there for that option. Oh, I forgot to mention actually, I didn't change this, but today I decided to side this out and actually main deck this, mainly because a lot of people at my locals I know were running levels and stuff like that, and it actually came to be quite useful for me to have the Nova Master main deck. Oh, sorry I'm yawning so much, it's been a long day. 2 Blade Armor, 2 Excalibur. These are for going for OTKs. Blade Armor mostly for dealing the most damage early game, and Excalibur if they have a... I use it, honestly, if they have a huge beat stick that I'm just sick of dealing with and I just want to beat the crap out of it. I just go for Excalibur. Gaga Cowboy, because honestly, I can't think of a reason why I would use him over Utopia. I just prefer him. I feel like the burn damage is really good because I actually won today in game 1 like that. I like beat them down, left them with like 200 life points, Gaga Cowboy effect attach, burn for 800, really useful card. My Stroke, this card is my favorite if I'm going first and I can't go for the Shockmaster because Shockmaster is the great. If I can only get 2 level 4s out and I can't get the 3rd level 4 out for Shockmaster, I go for My Stroke. I prefer My Stroke because it can save itself, and during my turn it's fucking Book of Moon with 1800 attack. I can just get rid of problem cards immediately. It's just one of my it's just my personal preference for the first turn rank 4 exceed if I can't go for Shockmaster. Shockmaster obviously being a boss card. I was mad I didn't actually get the duel against Prophecies today because I got knocked out too early, but because Prophecies made it into the finals, obviously I didn't, and having Shockmaster would have been so great because I've done it online, just first turn Shockmaster, no spell cards, and then they're just stuck there like shit. I know for a fact he was running at least 2 Kaikus, the one that you can't, let me see, let me just pull him up here, yeah, he was using 2 of these, you can't remove cards from play, and I just was like, man, I don't even need that. I'm just not going to use the Miracle Fusion. I'll just go for Exceeds and beat you down. Well, unfortunately, I did not get to duel the Prophecy deck. I would have really liked to because I would want to see my matchup against that. Anyway, aside in the other guy for Dragon Rulers, 2 D-Fisher, just so I could like kind of drain other people's graveyards sometimes. Like sometimes people were making graveyard plays I just didn't like, especially in Madolche's, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna side the 2 D-Fisher. Oh, the 2 Macro were if I really felt like going over the top with the removals, like I really just didn't want them to have stuff on field. Electric Virus, I picked one of these up today, and I definitely found it worth it because I was able to survive a little bit longer against Dragon Rulers because I was able to take their Dracossack, detach, give myself tokens so it would have no more attachments, and then just beat down the tokens they had, so the Dracossack became a liability as opposed to a help to them. And I ended up tributing it to summon like Light and Darkness Dragon, and that's how they got me. But that, and I side the Utopia because I just always keep Utopia side. Now that this is where my side deck is where I really came into. Hold on, extra deck. There's something missing from here. Hold on. There's only 14 cards in my extra deck when I had 15 with me for sure. Oh. Where the hell did my... This is actually incorrect. Hold on. Start. Because I know for a fact I was running... This is really weird. I was running Stardust Dragon. And... Wow, what the fuck? What did I have not here? Oh, that's right. I teched out one of the MSTs for a Starlight Road. Now, this is another thing I did today was I teched out one of the MSTs for Starlight Road. I don't know why I keep saying teched out. I don't know. People keep saying that, and I don't really know why I keep doing it. There we go. That's what was missing was my Stardust Dragon. Is I had Stardust and Starlight Road because a lot of times in this deck, you're going to be ending up sending your whole hand just a special Bubble Man to go for Exceeds, and I figure I want to be ready for the heavy when they do have it. So that's what Starlight's there for. It didn't really help me today because every time someone MST'd, they always managed to luckily hit that Starlight, and I was like, you motherfucker, like, I hate that. But, you know, shit happens, it is a game, it's based on luck and shit like that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, my main problem today was my side deck. I did not have a very good side deck. These were just cards I managed to scrape together. This one I bought that day just to have. Did not have a very good side deck. I tried looking for Max C's because I really wanted to add those in for the Dragon Ruler thing, because it's like, okay, yeah, you can go do what you want, but you're going to have to risk giving me like 9 cards that turn. And I saw, actually, it was so funny, Evil Swarm player was playing against Dragon Rulers. They had Ophion, and they barely managed to get rid of the Ophion because Ophion did not have Save Zone on. We didn't have the Infestation card because I think it was like after, it was the turn after they had already used the Infestation to save him once. He just used Blaster, popped Ophion, and started going for plays. But the Evil Swarm player was just like, fuck it, Maxi. They went like 17. I think they drew like 17 cards. It was hilarious. The Dragon Rulers did end up winning. It did not matter though how many cards the Evil Swarm player drew, but it was pretty funny to see this dude have like a third of his deck in his hand. But anyway, this is the deck I used. I went over the cards I used, why I used them, why I pretty much had nothing to side in, no hand traps. It was terrible, but hey, you know, it was fun. It's definitely a fun deck to use, and it's good to build if you don't have that much cash and you don't really want to spend too much money, which is definitely my case. Anyway, yeah, just check it out. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about my day, and Stray Dust Elemental signing out.